Let's get right into these classic JDM rides. Those iconic machines from the 90s that really shook up the automotive world by catering
Yeah, absolutely.
exclusively to the Japanese market, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's wild how these cars were built just for Japan and yet ended up being sought
right.
after globally.
Totally, it's like these vehicles were designed to capture the pure essence of performance and reliability while still keeping things
Yeah.
cost-friendly over here in the North Hemisphere.
And they maintain such great resale values, even though, they're not even originally built for our roads, which really
Totally.
speaks to their enduring appeal.
Yeah, and let's look at one standout. The Honda Civic EK9 Type R, which is pretty much the hatchback royalty among these JDM legends.
Yeah, absolutely.
With that 1.6-liter engine that cranked out some impressive horsepower.
Right. It's got that B16B engine that pushed the specific output to its limits in its day,
Exactly.
which is just phenomenal when you think about it.
And then you have those extreme variants like the Spoon Civic Type R that even modified the engine to push around 260 horsepower. It's like taking performance to a whole new level in a very, very lightweight package
yeah.
too.
I mean, talk about a lean, mean machine, right?
Yeah, indeed.
At under 2,000 pounds, it's just built to race.
Exactly. And moving on from the hatchbacks, you can't ignore how Toyota made a major impression with the Celica GT4. A real rally-bred beast with a turbocharged inline-4 that racked up 239 horsepower.
And that car not only dominated on the rally circuits with like 30 WRC victories, but its evolution into later models made it even more legendary, especially with that last ST205 model.
Yes. It's like the car was born to race, and every spec had been fine-tuned for peak performance, even though its history includes some wild stories like the infamous motorsport scandals.
True. Now, speaking of performance, the Nissan 300ZX, well known in our market as the Fair Lady, has tech that even seems futuristic for 1989, with features like four-wheel steering and twin-turbo V6 power.
Absolutely. It's like they were ahead of their time, packing in variable valve timing and all sorts of innovations, which still influences today's sports car design.
And then there's the Toyota Supra Emco 4, the car that took center stage thanks to movies like Fast and Furious, with that legendary 2JZ twin-turbo engine, delivering insane performance.
Oh yes, the Supra is almost mythical. A true symbol of JDM prowess, reaching 0 to 60 met-off in just over 4.5 seconds.
But not every car in the scene is purely about straight-line speed, like the Mazda RX-7 FD, which embraced the rotary engine concept for a unique driving character.
Right. The RX-7 is, admittedly, a bit quirky with that twin rotary engine, but it's exactly that quirkiness, despite being a bit unreliable sometimes, that makes it so special thanks to its lightweight design and balance.
Yeah, absolutely. I do wonder, though, isn't it a bit contradictory that they managed to build reliability into some models, while others, like the RX-7's rotary motor, took more risks? It shows a diverse philosophy in engineering that was bold and experimental.
Exactly. It's like a showcase of Japanese innovation. From conservative yet reliable builds to wild, almost experimental contraptions, each with its own character and fan base.
And speaking of rally icons, you can't miss the Subaru Impreza WRX STI from the Japanese market. It premiered in '94 with that GC8 model. And it's all about that uncompromising, lightweight rally spirit.
Right on. And its legacy was so pure that even when the US got the WRX STI later on, that original Japanese flavor was kind of still the benchmark. It's almost like the essence of rallying streamlined into a compact package.
And while we're on rally, how about the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 6? It was not just a rival to the WRX STI, it practically challenged it head-on with that mighty 4G63T engine and the super all-wheel control system.
Absolutely. It's like a battle of titans where each car had its own edge. Whether it was the WRX with its raw rally pedigree or the Evo 6 with a bit more finesse in dynamics, both pushing the envelope of performance and control.
And then there's the Honda NSX, a mid-engine coupe that brought a whole new level of supercar credibility to the JDM scene, especially with Ayrton Senna contributing to its development.
Exactly. The NSX, though it was also sold as an Acura in other markets, became, like, the Japanese answer to European supercars, proving that reliability and performance can coexist beautifully.
I love how the Japanese market wasn't afraid to mix it up. Even affordable models like the Nissan Silvia made waves as perfect drifting machines thanks to their superb chassis and handling dynamics.
For sure, the Silvia captured that fun factor. It's like a car built for corners and for those drift enthusiasts who value control over sheer horsepower, even if it came with its own quirks like the so-called drift tax due to limited ABS options.
Yeah, and let's not forget the legendary Nissan GTR, famously known as Godzilla, with that 2.6-liter turbocharged inline-six engine that delivered both ferocity and finesse.
Absolutely. The Skyline GTR wasn't just a car. It was a statement with its homologation special status, making it even more desirable among collectors and enthusiasts.
Oh, and speaking of statements, there's the Mitsubishi GTO, the Japanese twin of the 3000 GT, which, despite its heft, featured all-wheel drive as standard on JDM models, making it a more performance-driven experience compared to its American counterparts.
And then we have the Nissan Pulsar GTI-R, a rally-tuned beast with an impressive four-wheel drive system that kicked in when needed, demonstrating that JDM really made every inch of its performance count.
It's cool how all these models, even something as underground as the Toyota Chaser, shared parts of that performance DNA, like borrowing the famous 2JZ engine from the Supra, albeit in a sedan form.
Right. The Chaser X90 managed to deliver an engaging driving experience, thanks to that same iconic engine setup, proving that performance isn't always about muscle cars alone.
And then there's the Honda S2000, a lightweight rear-wheel drive roadster that, though sometimes a handful, offered a pure dynamic experience with its high-revving F20C engine, delivering the highest specific output of its time.
Yeah, it's almost like a delicate balance between raw power and finesse, making every drive an adventure, albeit one where you have to really earn every turn.
And on the quirky end of the spectrum, there's the Suzuki Cappuccino, a tiny two-seater roadster that almost feels like a scaled-down Miata. And yet it offers a unique, spirited drive with its 0.7-liter turbo engine.
Absolutely. It's fascinating how these Japanese manufacturers, even with small displacement engines, managed to pack in so much fun and personality, proving that performance isn't merely about size.
And we can't overlook the luxury touches either, like the Toyota Century or the Soarer, cars that show that Japan mastered both the art of performance engineering and that of opulence in their own way.
Right. Whether it's the tank-like build of the Century or the refined styling of the Soarer, these models remind us that big, bold design and technology can coexist with everyday practicality, all wrapped up in that unmistakable JDM spirit.
And to top it off, the FAQs really tie in the whole narrative, explaining what truly counts as a JDM car, why importation can be tricky, and why a VIN check matters so much. It just rounds out this incredible story of engineering, art, and cultural impact in the 90s.